Hey y'all. Oh well, it's Sunday, and yesterday we watched the Elimination Chamber. We watched a replay of it because I love wrestling, but I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock in the damn morning in order to watch a show live that I can watch, when I get up. And I certainly wasn't going to try and get my wife and my kids to get up at 4 in the morning. So, yeah. Anyways, Elimination Chamber, one of my favorite pay-per-views, specifically because of the Elimination Chamber match, which is the Elimination Chamber match is my favorite match type. It's my favorite match type to watch. It's my favorite match type to play on the video games and whatnot. It's my favorite match type. So I always look forward to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I do have, so the one complaint I have concerning the Elimination Chamber matches this year is, for both of them, there was no question in my mind who was going to win. So that does take away some of the, what's going to happen, the intrigue, the mystery, the suspense. It takes some of it away. However, there's 5 people in the match to get eliminated. So it's interesting to see what they'll do in order to set up, things going forward. For other people, not the people who won. Like, for instance, in the Women's Royal Rumble match, one elimination that really stood out to me was the elimination of Naomi by Tiffany Stratton. Tends to make me think that the way that whole thing went down tends to make me think that Naomi and Tiffany might be working, an angle together moving forward. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Becky Lynch, of course, won the Women's Royal Rumble. It'll be Becky versus Rhea at WrestleMania, which, we all knew that was coming. It was a foregone conclusion. They made it very clear, moving up, like, there was nobody who was as big a front runner when you look at TV time and promo time and everything else as Becky was. It was very clear it was going to be Becky, and indeed it was. But the Women's Elimination Chamber match, there was, or seemed to be, quite a bit of miscommunication between some of the female performers. So some of what they were doing, it wasn't very fluid, and it looked, some of it looked bad. Particularly the spot in the beginning with Naomi and Becky, where they were they were doing the reversal, drop down, jump over, this, that, the whole point of a spot like that is to show you how well matched and how fluid the performers are, how well they know each other, and it was very poorly done. I don't know what happened, because both of them are very good performers. Both of them are great, matter of fact. And they do know each other well, so I don't know what happened there, but there was definitely a timing disconnect. Something went wrong there. Kind of took me out of it a little bit, but all in all, it and Tiffany, I don't know if it was nerves or what, but yeah, Tiffany had a couple of instances where it was like, it just like just a half a step behind or half a step too forward, and just shit not linking up quite right. But it is what it is. It's live. it's live performance, it's live combat theater, and not everybody's going to do it perfect 100% of the time. It's just, it is what it is. So that being said, we then had we had the tag title match. Now, I am not someone who gives two shits about tag team wrestling. I'm really not. Especially not since, during the Attitude Era, yeah, I cared more about tag team wrestling. But like the whole, like, some people love tag team wrestling and the psychology behind it and everything else, and that's great. I'm not the biggest fan. I understand it. I respect it. It's just not my favorite thing to watch. So this match between the New Catch Republic, they're calling themselves, that's Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Now here's the thing. I've been a big Finn Balor fan since his debut. Damian Priest, I'm like, I don't dislike Damian Priest, but I don't like him either. He's just kind of there for me. Pete Dunne, I love Pete Dunne. I love his work. He's like, it's like William Regal and Taz had a fucking baby. He's awesome. Tyler Bate, I don't really care. So, but on the outside you have Dominic Mysterio, and Dominic makes me laugh. And he's so good at being that chicken shit swarmy heel that you just want to grab and fucking pop his head like a zit. He's great. He's doing a fantastic job. I'm really happy for the kid. So all of that being said, I really enjoyed this tag match. I went into it not giving a fuck about it, and I really enjoyed it. They managed to suck me in. I thought the New Catch Republic was actually going to lock in those tag titles. Now, granted, part of the reason I thought that is because Damian Priest is Mr. Money in the Bank, and I know at some point they're going to want to move him into cashing in, and probably don't want him saddled with the tag titles while they do it. Also, while we're speaking about the tag titles, can we please get rid of these stupid red and blue belts? I hate the way so many of the titles look these days. It's irritating. But anyways, neither here nor there. Sorry. Okay. Anywho, Judgment Day did retain, which, that's sucks for Bate and Dunne. However, Bate and Dunne really did fucking establish themselves as a tag team to watch, in my opinion. And it was great. It was a great tag match. It really, really was. So, I spilled my coffee. Oh, okay. So we'll move on. They also had this talk show segment with Grayson Waller. So first off, Austin Theory. I don't know what the hell happened, because for a minute there it looked like Austin Theory was going to be a big deal. And then he wasn't. Maybe that has something to do with Vince no longer, having his hands on creative, because I think Vince was very high on Austin Theory, but for whatever reason, Triple H, not as much. Anywho, so the guests on the Grayson Waller Effect were Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. How am I doing? Part of this was difficult to watch. And part of that is because Seth Rollins annoys the shit out of me. I don't like him. I've never liked Seth Rollins. He's an impressive athlete. He has improved so much as a performer. Like, we had a minute there where he was injuring lots of people, but he He hasn't injured somebody in a long time. Which, here's the thing: the hallmark of a good good professional wrestler from an in-ring standpoint, as far as I'm concerned, isn't how well you can do your moves. It's how well you can do your moves without hurting or injuring your opponent. So, like, you know, and here's the thing: injuries do happen. I'm not saying that, you know, if you ever injured somebody, you suck. That's not what I'm saying. Injuries do happen, but when injuries happen continuously and there's a pattern, it, you know, becomes a problem. You're probably doing things you maybe shouldn't be doing to people that maybe you shouldn't be doing them to. You know, it just is what it is. So that being said, but I don't like his voice. I hate his promos, and just, yeah, I'm not a fan, you know. Cody, I like Cody. I like Cody a lot. I've always liked Cody. I remember when Cody made his debut. You know, I remember the whole thing with Legacy. You know, I still have a Legacy T-shirt somewhere. Like, I've been a big fan of Cody Rhodes straight along. I hated Stardust, but to be fair, so did Cody. So, that being said, this segment was kind of just there. You know, one thing that they are taking the care to do that I do like to see is, so it used to be way back in the day, some better solidarity between the baby faces in the locker room. You know, like, you got a bunch of heels beating down on a Hulk Hogan, will say, here comes Macho Man to save him, you know, or, you know, so somebody does something really fucked up to somebody and the locker room clears out to put a stop to it. Like, that stuff used to happen. Now, it doesn't happen much anymore, and it was the Attitude Era that really made that stop happening in a lot of ways, with groups like the NWO on WCW, and of course the corporation in WWE. It very much became a story of the lone babyface standing alone, fighting against the odds. And listen, that can be a great story, especially if you've got the right character. However, it's been overdone. And it was nice to see the solidarity between, you know, Cody and Seth, you know, with Seth doing that whole, you're not going to have to do it alone, which sounds fucking corny coming from his fucking fruity ass, but at least it's something different. That being said, I get it. This was essentially this was a big thing for the Australian crowd. You know, the host of the show is Australian. They don't want to put Cody, or they can't put Seth in a match. He's not cleared. They don't want to put Cody in a match because they don't want to risk injury leading into freaking WrestleMania, I would assume. So, like, and they didn't have Roman over there, and they didn't have Rock over there, and so, like, it's all this stuff, and it just kind of felt like it was there. Kind of like when Triple H comes out and tells us, you know, what the attendance is. Which, I don't know why, don't bother to tell me the attendance. I know you're lying about the attendance anyways. You're rounding up. You're always rounding up. you're never rounding down. It's the exact opposite of what your boss does with the hours for your check. Is they're always going to round down, not up. So, but it just, you know, I don't know. And the thanking. I'm not a big fan of these fucking placated niceties. I want to thank you. No, seriously, you want to thank them for what? They paid you money to give them a show. Why do you need to thank them? Like, it's. I hate fake nice. I've always hated fake nice. I hate fake nice in real life. Like, I just do. Like, if you don't like me, don't fucking pretend to like me. You tell me to go fuck myself. I'll tell you to go fuck yourself, and we can go about our merry fucking way. I don't care. Like, I hate fake nice. It's disingenuous, and I very much despise it. That being said, so then we got the men's elimination chamber, which I was at first so surprised that the men's elimination chamber match wasn't the main event, and then I realized something. Oh, wait a second. They're in Australia. Rhea's from Australia. Rhea is also one of the most over performers in the company right now. And if she's that over everywhere else, you can only fucking imagine how over she is in her home country. So, yeah, you know what? Totally makes sense that they put Rhea in the main event. They should have had a better opponent for her, but neither here nor there. Let's talk about the men's elimination chamber match. So, the people in the match. You had Drew McIntyre in the match, which, you know Drew's going to be in the match. Everybody knew Drew was going to win the match, because it's going to be Drew and Seth. They've already been setting it up. And Seth is going to hold that title till fucking Punk comes back, because Punk's going to take it from him. You know, that's why Drew keeps making these references to Punk. Like, they're playing the long game, and I respect the long game. Let me tell you, I respect the long game. Let's just hope everybody can stay healthy until Punk's decrepit ass can come back. All right, now, so Drew was in this thing. Randy was in the Elimination Chamber. I have never watched a Randy Orton match and said, wow, that was a terrible match. That really sucked. Why did I watch that? Can I have that time back for my life, please? No, Randy Orton's fucking great. Always loved Randy Orton. I think his heel work is better than his babyface work. However, he has become a hell of a babyface. So, Bobby Lashley was in the match. And it's nice to see Bobby. I don't feel like they're doing all that much with Bobby right now, but, you know, it is what it is. LA Knight was in the match. Definitely like seeing LA Knight. If I didn't, like, I would have liked to have seen LA Knight win, but I knew he wasn't gonna, because I knew it was gonna be Drew. Kevin Owens was in the match, and then of course Logan Paul's in the match. Now here's the thing. I don't like Kevin Owens. I also don't like Kevin Owens, but I can't stand Logan Paul. So it's funny, at their last matchup, I think it was Royal Rumble, Kevin just beat the holy hell out of Logan. Now he didn't injure him, he didn't hurt him, he was just really stiff with him. Which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like to see it. But Kevin is I don't like Kevin, but Kevin's very good. Kevin does not hurt the person he's working with. And as much as I can't stand Logan is an athletic son of a bitch, and he has taken to professional wrestling very quickly. I will give him credit where it's due. He's obviously putting in a lot of work. I just don't like him. It's his actual personality. Him as a person. Can't fucking stand him. So, that being said, this is the matchup, and they started with Drew and fucking LA, and that was going well, and then Kevin came out, and then fucking Bobby, and then Randy at one point, and then Logan came out, and so we had this spot. Now here's the thing. Lashley spears Logan through the pod, which big spot, probably a spot Logan wanted to do, because it's a kind of a, I'm proving something kind of spot, which good for him. Prove what you got to prove. It's fine. You want to be taken seriously, that's fine. That being said, now Bobby seemed to really aggravate an injury in his elbow. Now, here's the thing. It could, I really did think I thought it was a legitimate injury, because Bobby was selling the fuck out of it. I really was thinking it's a legitimate injury until they're leading Bobby out and AJ takes the time to come in. Now, Bobby could have legitimately injured himself, or he could just be really good at selling. I never realized he was that good at selling, and I don't remember him being that good at selling, but hey, well, either way, AJ Styles comes in, beats the fucking high hell out of LA Knight for a minute, gives him a Styles Clash onto a chair, and then Drew pins him. So guess what? We know AJ and LA are working together. They'll probably have a match on WrestleMania. There was a lot between Owens and Paul in this one. But Randy Orton ended up eliminating Kevin Owens. And then he ended up eliminating Logan Paul. Now, it was funny. One of the things that, so we've seen Logan work with Kevin. And we've seen Logan work with Miz. And we've seen Logan work with, who else has Logan worked with? He worked once with Roman, but we're starting to see him branch out a little bit. We saw him work with Ricochet, but Logan's going to be working with Randy Orton now, because Randy eliminated Logan, and then Logan knocked out Randy with the brass knucks, costing Randy the match and securing the victory for Drew McIntyre. So Randy's going to be pissed, as he should be. And I think we'll see probably Logan and Randy at WrestleMania. I'm not sure how Kevin will factor in. But I don't see Logan winning that match at WrestleMania. So, and I don't know if it'll be for the title. Maybe Randy's going to have another run with the U.S. title, although I don't think he needs that. I'd like to see Randy get a couple more world titles under his belt. I'd love to see Randy surpass Flair and Cena. But, it just, who knows? It is what it is. It's cheese what it is. So, and then we had the main event. Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. I cannot say enough good things about Rhea Ripley's in-ring work. And I cannot say enough bad things about Nia Jax's in-ring work. Nia Jax injures people all the fucking time. And when I was watching her in this match with Rhea, I could see why. She does not take care with her opponent. Like, at all. Like, she takes the "I'm bigger than you, I'm just gonna beat on you" approach, and let me lay this one out there for you. Nia Jax is a nepotism hire. She only has her job because her cousin is The Rock. And she only keeps her job because her cousin is The Rock. And now, with that sack of fucking shit on the board of the directors of TKO, you can rest assured that not only is she never going to fucking go away, she's most likely going to end up with a fucking belt on her, and she's going to be highly featured, I would assume. And yes, I just called Dwayne Johnson a sack of shit because it's what he fucking is. And it is what it is. He's a sack of shit. I was very disappointed to learn that he was on the board of directors, and now, rumors, the whisperings that he's going to try and push Triple H out of creative and replace him with Brian Gewirtz. And here's the thing: Brian Gewirtz was a great writer. I had no shade on Brian Gewirtz, but with Brian in charge of creative, it essentially means The Rock's in charge of creative. And at that point, I'm really going to lose interest. I don't know. Really beginning to think that Vince never should have sold the company. Because now it all might fall apart. But I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe Rock will, maybe Dwayne will just sit back and collect his check and won't have his hands actively in the WWE after WrestleMania. That's what I hope happens. Just collect your money, big man. Fucking keep your fucking nose out of what's going on. Somehow I fucking doubt it. Somehow I fucking doubt it. Oh. But yeah, all in all, definitely enjoyed the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. We'll see what happens from here. Till next time, y'all. I'm Ken Carnage, and always remember that Carnage is right around the corner.